My name is Rhapsody and welcome back to Hearthstone Arena. We've got at least 150 gold to spare, so it's time to play in the arena. Now I've got a Hunter and Mage Dominance quest running at the moment. The other two are a Total Dominance and just another thing. So if I could pick one of those two, I would be really happy. Oh shit. Alright, let's go Priest. It's been a long time since I played Priest, but Priest's so good because you can flip stuff so well. Like Shadow Madness, Holy Nova slightly if you manage to heal your own minions. Having really high health minions, Valen's Chosen, Powered Shield, Mind Control, right? There's so many different ways that you can just flip the tempo entirely on your opponent. I love it. Stampeding Kodo is a really solid start. I'm not a huge fan of the Twilight Whelp. It is a dragon, it is a 2-1. It's only better if you have another dragon. I'm really not drafting a dragon deck yet. So, like, because it relies on having other dragons to be good, picking it first means that I need other Twilight Whelps to make it good, and to make themselves good, right? So I'd only be picking it for the fact that I'd have dragon synergy in hand. So instead I'll pick the Darkscale Healer, because as a priest, I'm very incentivized to pick minions with high health, so that I can just heal them back up and actually get value out of my hero power, basically by making my minion extend its own life through further minions of my opponents. So I feel like the Darkscale Healer might be helping me do that. Northshire Cleric here, it's a pretty obvious choice. Northshire Cleric doesn't get played on turn 1 at all, unless I have a Valen's Chosen and a coin. Because otherwise, the Northshire Cleric goes down, it's a 1-3. My opponent plays a 3-2 in response, kills my Northshire Cleric, and then they have a 3-1 left to kill something else. Because I don't have a ping, so I can't kill a 3-1. Right, I can't fireball it or make a dagger and kill it or bite it with the hero power of the druid. I can't do any of that. I just gotta suck it up and deal with the fact that there is now a 3-1 that's about to kill my 2-drop or my 3-drop. Horrible. Power Word Shield is amazing. Makes one of your minions, basically this reads, in the early game at least, one of your minions is immune this round, usually because they just don't die in the trade, right? So it might as well read that. Plus draw a card for 1 mana. It's crazy. Helps you fix your curve if you have to play a 2-drop and Power Word Shield on turn 3 in order to respond to your opponents. I really like getting Shadow Word Pains because they're versatile. You can take down late game minions with them a lot of the time as well, but Valen's Chosen you can't pass up. It's a +2/+4. It means all of your minions will be in the position where they have enough health to constantly heal them up. It's really good. Power Word Shield and Valen's Chosen. I'm really happy to have them. Circle of Healing could have some synergistic value if I picked up Arcanine Soul Priest, but I'd have to pick up the Arcanine first, because the Arcanine is actually individually strong, whereas the Circle of Healing is not. Archmage does have a lot of health. That is a consideration that I'm making at the moment, but it's also only got 4 attack. And when you're looking at 6 mana minions, only having 4 attack is not enough. That said, it's still better than the Iron Fur Grizzly. Oh my, this is a really bad pick. So Tauren Warrior is way too expensive for a 2-3 worth of stats, by which I mean it's literally 1 more expensive than it should be. It also just gets eaten by the majority of 3-drops. 3-drops usually have 3-3 as stats, or 3-4, or 4-4 now. And it just gets eaten by them, and then it leaves an important minion on the opponent's side still. It's not good. Shield Bearer obviously dies. That's all it does. It doesn't actually do anything on board. It's just a free card for your opponent to kill and stalls out the game. Silence might actually be my best one here to possibly deal with an opponent's minion that's getting out of hand. I'll take it. That might be the first time ever I've drafted a Silence. Power Word Shield. Dark Cultist is such a strong 3 that I'm going to take it. It's a 3-4, plus it's got this amazing ability. Which is Death Rattle, give a random friendly minion +3 health. It's great stats-wise, great ability-wise, I love everything about it. I don't want to become Ragnaros the Fire Lord. Gruul is pretty good, except it only takes 1 huge removal to do him. So the reason that Gruul is worse than, say, Ragnaros or Ysera in this case is because Ysera and Ragnaros immediately do something when you put them on the board. You put them on the board, Ragnaros sends out a missile. If that missile hits even one of your opponent's minions, you've killed a minion playing Ragnaros, and they have to use all of their removal on it. So if they have like a perfect removal answer, like a Assassinate or something like that, it still took an Assassinate and one of their minions. Still pretty good. Ysera is a huge body. It's very difficult to kill because you can't kill it with anything that's just going to kill a high target, right? It doesn't die to Big Game Hunter. It doesn't die to Shadow Word Death. It doesn't die to Shadow Word Pain. It doesn't die to Light Bomb or anything that's going to target something with a really high amount of health. Sorry, high amount of attack. However, it does immediately give you something. At the end of the turn on which you play it, you get a dream card in your hand. The majority of the dream cards are pretty good, right? People laugh at the Laughing Sister, which is a 3-mana 3/5 that is untargetable by spells, but that's still way more powerful than any 3-mana creature has any business being. It's also a dragon, which is worth noting, so I actually do have a dragon in my deck now. And yes, I'm going to be taking Ysera. I'm also going to be taking Velen's Chosen, because it's crazy as hell. So since I have Velen's Chosen in the early game, I'm going to need to focus on getting a lot of 2-drops, right? I'm going to need to focus on getting enough early game to sustain a minion on board that I can then Velen's Chosen and win the game with. Lightspawn is really powerful. Velen's Chosen on Lightspawners turn it into a 9/9. Power Word Shield has turned it into a 7/7, obviously, because its attack is always equals to its health. It's really powerful, but so Shrinkmeister. If I'm looking to sustain a board early game, I actually need to take the Shrinkmeister so that I can put down, say, a 2-drop, followed up with the 2-drop that makes me able to kill my opponent's 2-drop for free. I've just convinced myself that Shrinkmeister is correct. Thoughtseal is really, really bad unless your opponent has an amazing deck. So it's only going to be really good in like 8+ wins. So rather, I would just draft a deck that will get me there, rather than focus on that. Velen's Chosen on a Mogashan is actually not that bad. This one does something immediately when it comes out onto the field, but my 3-mana slot is immediately getting too busy. Right, there's too much stuff in it. Fuck, do I take the Wind Fury Harpy? Like, it's 2 mana more for a Yeti, but this also rarely ever kills anything. This will at least take 1 spell to kill. I don't like that pick, but I still think it was the best one that I could have made. Oasis Snapjaw is much better. Obviously, it has twice as much damage as the aforementioned Mogashan Warden. Plus, I can constantly heal it back up. I'm also looking at that Holy Nova as possibly my only board clear. I'm 15 cards in, and I have almost no 2s, and I have no 4s. This is not good. I'll take the Holy Smite over the Unstable Ghoul. Is that correct? Unstable Ghoul in the early game. I don't have anything with 1 mana in my early game. I'll take an Unstable Ghoul, actually. I have to take the Dark Cultist. It's so strong on 3. I have to take Power Word Shield because it's so strong on all of them. In this case, I'll actually have to take the Stormwind Knight, not only because it has a high health stat, so I can constantly heal it back up, but I'm also going to be taking it because it will help me get back in the game if my 1 and 2 drops don't actually win the game for me. It allows me to take out my opponent's early drop that I missed in the early game. So imagine they've got a 3/2, right? I run the Stormwind Knight in, I kill it, and now I have a 2/2. It's a huge swing my way if my opponent had a good early game. It has to be Shadow Boxer. Like, it's a good card, plus I need some early game. Temple Enforcer, as soon as you can get Temple Enforcer down and it actually affects something, you pretty much win. I want to take another... So, I want the Spider Tank so bad, but I already have 5 really good 3-drops, and I don't have enough good 2-drops. So in order to make sure that my curve works, I have to take the Gildan Stalker. Ancient Brewmaster for stats is probably going to be a problem for me, and here's why I think it might be a problem for me. If I'm fighting for the early game, and I want to buff one of my minions, I definitely don't want to send that minion back to hand, otherwise I'd lose the buff, obviously. So if I'm successful in my early game, then the Ancient Brewmaster is going to be a downside, a detriment to me, right? It's going to bounce back something really important that I would rather have in hand. However, if I lose the early game, Ancient Brewmaster only has 4 health, so it'll only take one of my opponent's minions to kill anyway. I'm going to go with the Stormwind Champion and hold out for a better 4. Oasis Snapjaw is, yep, it's good enough to be a better 4. I'm pretty good at dealing with low health minions. High health minions, not really. I only have 1 dragon in the entire deck, which means that Blackwing Technician isn't amazing. It's okay. I'll take Shadow Word Death as versatile, like, late game removal. That has to be Shrinkmeister. I want the 4 drops, but I need Shrinkmeister. There we go. This is a pick where I can be really happy about picking a 4 drop, because it lets me trade way up. Okay, so I've only got 3 good 4 drops. I'm gonna have to rely on getting another 4 drop later. I can't take this. Can I? Shit. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I've got enough late game, but the Temple Enforcer is so strong. But if I don't have anything for the Temple Enforcer to hit, I lose anyway. I think I actually have to take the Sentient Shieldmaster. That's a Loot Hoarder, because my 3 drops are already strong enough and my 2 drops still need to be sustained. With 2 Velen's Chosen and a Dark Iron Dwarf, that could legitimately be a Nerubian Egg. The thing is with an... Oh, and a Stormwind Champion. The thing is with a Nerubian Egg, you don't actually ever want to buff it. Sorry, you never want to buff its health. And the Velen's Chosen buffs its health while giving it attack. Ideally, Velen's Chosen would say, give a minion +2/+0 if I were playing it on the Nerubian Egg. I don't need to draw because my late game is gonna draw for me. I mean, like, look at you, Sarah. Little Exorcist is sometimes valuable. If it gets only 1 tick, if it gets 1 Death Rattle minion, it's amazing. But of course, if it doesn't, it's horrible. I'm gonna take a long time on this pick because this is actually really important to me. They're all not good. Don't get me wrong, none of these is a good option for me. But what's the least shit? Okay, let's think. What has the least vulnerability? Right? Little Exorcist dies almost certainly if I play it as a 3-drop. And that's the only time when it's really going to be that relevant, dies to an opponent's 3-drop unless they have a Death Rattle on board. Jeeves could draw my opponent's cards, will almost never draw me cards. I've got 3 Power Word Shields, a Northshire Cleric, and I've got a Ysera. I've got a relatively good card drawing engine here. I've also got a Loot Hoarder, so I'm relatively unlikely to benefit from Jeeves, whereas my opponent might. Nerubian Egg will mean that if my opponent wants to AoE me, they have to suffer a 4/4. It might actually be the best decision. Take the Nerubian Egg. I do have 4 buffs that would actually make the Nerubian Egg a very worthwhile card. And if I played the Nerubian Egg on 2, and then Velen's Chosen it, I'd still be able to kill a 3/2 with the Nerubian Egg, and have a 2/3 left over. No, a 2/1. Yeah, 2/3. 2/3 left over. But of course, a 2/3 isn't going to kill a 3-drop. So I would still need to sack something else as well to give kill my opponent's 3-drop and summon the 4/4. This is actually really difficult. I'm taking the Nerubian Egg on the basis that if my opponent tries to AoE me, they will lose as a result. These two can be objectively bad for me, whereas this could only not be good. Right? Okay. I think this is a relatively solid deck. I think taking 16 minutes to draft that deck might have been a little overkill. There were a few times there where I explained things that might be second nature to anyone who was looking at me pick those cards. Like, what's one of those picks? Probably the first time I got offered Power Word Shield was probably one of those picks. Where I spent like 20 minutes talking. I know, I've only been recording for 17 minutes now, but I spent 20 minutes talking about how good Power Word Shield is. But I still feel like that's a valuable thing to spend some time on, at least. I know there have been some people over the past of this series, Michael Ludeman's actually probably like the first that comes to mind, who've wanted me to take a little longer when I'm talking about the drafting phase, because actually, that's probably the most important part of this game. Arena, at least. Playing it, really important. Yes, don't get me wrong. But if you draft shit, you're gonna have a shit run regardless. Unless, of course, you get stupidly lucky, which I've had happen before. Does anyone else remember Polarity or, fuck, any of the throwing decks that I played that actually did surprisingly well?
Greetings.
No, stupid.
Okay, that's actually really bad for me. Not only does it not die to the Gilban Stalker, but I can't accelerate my plays by coining anything out without making this more powerful. The thing is, if I power word shield this gets buffed. So it would be able to kill this by itself, which would let my opponent's Scarlet Crusader trade for mine.
I must consider.
If I power word shield this, it becomes a 1/5. My opponent has a 3/1 and a 3/1. They have to attack him with both, but they heal this first, meaning that this still dies, but my opponent's Scarlet Crusader dies, and my opponent actually has a better board than me at the result of that. Okay, so they attack, they heal this attack. No, they still need to buff this if they want to kill me. This will die, but without interference, this should be able to kill my opponent's board. Or I'm dumb. Alright, apparently I forgot that the Crusader was going to be enough to do that by itself. Interesting. I do have a Shadow Word... No, I have a Shadow Word Death, not a Shadow Word Pain. I was about to say, I have a Shadow Word Pain in this deck, so I can Shrink Mice to something and then Shadow Word Pain, and it'll be real good, but no, it won't. I'm getting very close to Holy Nova. Ooh. That's so good for them. Oh, that's really not good for me. Rip me.
For the king! For honor!
The plan here is to spook my opponent into using the Tinkertown Technician to attack the Stormwind Knight, in which case I Holy Nova and clear the board. Oh my god! That was from the top deck as well. They have the perfect answers. I'm pretty sad about it, to be honest. Can't do anything right now. If I coin out the Shrinkmeister, my opponent just heals one of them and attacks. This is the really, really good thing that you can do as a priest. When you set up the board for yourself, and then no one can get on that board, because you just heal your minions and attack, and you win. I think I might have already lost, actually. Let's look at this. Like, I heal myself, I go up to 13, my opponent has literally 13 damage on field, so I lose in that case. I play the Dark Scale and I heal myself.
I wonder.
Okay. Well, that has to be part of my play at least. I do have the coin, so I can do this safely to dig for cards. It's just not good enough. And then I do actually have to coin a heal on myself. If my opponent ignores that, I can Velen's choose it and then run in, but if they just have 2 damage in hand, I'm fucked. They can Thought Steal from my deck, I have no instant damage left in there. I have a Velen's Chosen in my deck, I'm a dumb dude. Yep, that wins.
Well played.
Unfortunately, that's just how that goes. It's worth noting that literally nothing that I could have done with the unstable ghoul at that point would have been good. Anything that I would have had to cast, like casting a spell or something like that, right? What if I didn't attack? Let's think about that. So if I don't attack, my opponent has a 3-1, it charges into mine, my opponent has a 2-2, I have a 2-2 still in stealth. That actually would have been really good. I shouldn't have attacked with the Gilban Stalker. See, I was still expecting that I was going to be coining out, because I was treating it like there's a 2-3 versus a 2-3. I need to hit his first, and then force him to heal so he can't play a 4-drop. But it wouldn't have mattered in the long run. Unless, of course, I was planning to coin, heal, or put down a power word shield, which I ultimately decided not to do because it would have buffed my opponent's card. Yeah. No, I forgot about the Trog's ability for a moment, and when I remembered about it, I was in a position that I couldn't really play out of it. Oh well. So that move was entirely my fault. From then on, I really think there's not that much that I could have done. My 4-drop got countered by their 2-drop. My fucking, what was it? My 4-drop got countered by their 2-drop. My second 4-drop got countered by a 5-drop that also made a 3/5 minion. Them having Shadow Word Pain and then Kodo in a row was crazy. As much as I want a 2-drop, I don't know if I can keep Unstable Ghoul in the early game. I will keep Power Word Shield because if I have any 2-drop, it's amazing. I'm kind of uneasy about that. Probably Avenge. Alright. Only because I have Power Word Shield and no 2-drop. I'm considering the possibility of this actually being Noble Sacrifice. Oh hey, I can actually break that shield, that'd be nice.
Right away.
It's Noble Sacrifice. Interesting. So I can coin for the heal. That would mean that the Northshire Cleric wouldn't die to muster for battle. That's pretty important. But it also prevents me from playing anything next turn.
I must consider.
I'm probably going to play the Unstable Ghoul next turn, even if I don't want to coin out the Sentient Shieldmaster. Also, I have enough 3s left in my deck. You know what? I'm actually going to go coin for the heal, because this gives me 2 draws to get a 3. And even if I don't get a 3, I'm not in that bad of a position, because the Unstable Ghoul is really good against Muster for Battle. It's really good against anything with Divine Shield. It's really good in a lot of situations here, and since this has such high health, it's probably not going to be bad for my Unstable Ghoul.
Right away.
Even a Truce of a Champion doesn't do this one, right? You Truce of a Champion, you hit this, that loses its shield, this goes down to a 1-3. Blessing of Kings is pretty bad, but I get to Shadow Word Death it, so...
Right away.
It would be so much better for me if I still had the coin at that point. It also would be so much better for me if I had just a turn later. Was that from the top deck? I'm gonna be real annoyed if it was. It also would be so much better for me if that happened a turn later. Because then I would have been able to play a 2-drop while deathing my opponent's card, and that would have been so strong. Ooh. Trading a 6-drop for a 4-drop isn't that good, but it is in this situation because I don't have any way to deal with the Stampeding Kodo right now. Do I try and flood the board with small minions, or do I just go with the big one? If they had to use this as their removal, they're not going to get another removal card on 7, so I think I'm fine to play the... I think I'm fine to play this time. And I've got to find the turn where I'm fine to play the Wind Fury Harpy because it's just not a good card.
Do you need a blessing?
Do you want to have a blessing?
Reporting for duty.
It doesn't have to be a blessing. Probably have to use Holy Nova this turn. Okay. We attack the face, just to check. That's very interesting. Huh. That's not what I expected. My opponent has very few cards in hand, so I actually will still use the Holy Nova. Yeah, actually I will play the Shadow Boxer first as well. Because then I heal 2 targets. It didn't manage to kill it, but whatever. I think that was correct. This is also a sudden 12 damage pop to the face if they leave it on board.
Squire, attend me.
Ready, sir.
And if I can just heal it up a lot... Okay, so is that their 3rd Noble Sacrifice?
Reporting for duty.
Hang on. This would become a 4... Fuck. I haven't got enough heal. Actually, wait, it doesn't matter. Okay, I attack this first. Checking for revenge. Perfect. What? Oh, okay, it's gonna reduce the health of one of my minions, right? Hmm. Pop it. Fack. Well, this minion already has low health. Pop. No. Very interesting. What the fuck, secret? Is that an eye for an eye? Did you draft an eye for an eye? I'm so mad at you. Right. And I'm gonna pop down the Oasis Snapjaw just so that I'm vulnerable to mind control tech. No, wait, hang on, no. I'm not gonna try and intentionally throw. I've popped it down. Pretty good split. Just so that I was invulnerable to Consecrate. Well, not invulnerable, just so that I still had a minion after Consecrate hit. This will also mean that I have a minion after Consecrate hits, and then... As soon as I get Ysera, this match is over. I have very, very strong control of the board. Without, like, Pyromancer Equality or Pyromancer Consecration, my opponent's not really going to do anything for the rest of the game. They're kind of locked out of it. Pretty severely. Actually, so that Consecration doesn't suck, I attack with this. And then pop you. It is an eye for an eye. Got 10 damage on board. I'm keeping the Dark Iron Dwarf because, yeah, why not?
Reporting for duty.
That'll do.
Behold the might of Stormwind.
Oh shit, I'm still 1 damage off killing this. Ah, never mind. They conceded. Well played. The more and more I think about it, the more and more embarrassed I am by the play on, what, turn 3 of the last game? They still did need to have Shadow Word Pain to deal with the Senjin and then the Kodo afterwards to actually turn it into a complete wash. But that's still a play that I shouldn't have fucked up. It's also relatively unlikely that I didn't draw 3 considering I have 5 of them, but still, it's a play that I shouldn't have fucked up.
Anduin versus Raw.
This person is named Razor Rye. I imagine their name is probably Ryan.
Shall bring victory.
That's my name. How dare they? I can't keep Nerubian Egg and Dark Iron Dwarf in the opening hand just for, hey, we might get this off. Because, yeah, I get a 4-4 and a 4-4, but my opponent has 3 turns where they are uncontested on board. Yeah, I can't do that. Okay, so we start out the game by coining Gilban Stalker. The reason we coined Gilban Stalker is because we have the Shrinkmeister to follow it up, so if my opponent plays a 3-2, I brutally face-fuck them. Into the ground. And now if they don't, I just play a Shadow Boxer. Oh man, Shadow Boxer, North Sheer Cleric combos. Oh, the Wombo combo. I've got a really good opening hand, to be 100% honest with you. This is really, really unlikely good.
Speak to me.
Is someone injured?
Sure, my opponent gets 2 cards out of that, but I also got a card. They don't have enough mana this turn to roll a totem, possibly get the spell damage, and then rain on my parade. Yeah. Kill the card draw engine, of course. As much as I just want to heal this turn, why would I want to heal it that turn? That's dumb. Play something my opponent can't kill. So, Power Mace can be deadly as fuck if my opponent drops a really high-tech mech and then just smashes something. So all they need is, what's it called? Arcane Nullifier. The 4-mana 2/5, which is untargetable. Basically, it's like Ascension, except you can't remove it with a spell. All they need is that, and then they attack, and suddenly, it's a 4/7 untargetable with Taunt. Don't kill, don't kill, don't kill. Back.
The damned stand ready.
I don't want to silence it. Like, my opponent can draw as many cards as they want, just as long as they don't do anything to the board. I'll actually leave it on there. Shamans don't have that many good buffs. I mean, they've got Power Word Shield. Sorry, Power Word Shield. They've got the Flame Tongue Totem. Bloodlust. You could argue that they have the Rockbiter weapon, but they can always just put the Rockbiter weapon on themselves, so I really don't count that. Unless I'm looking at a target that has Wind Fury, in which case, okay, I now understand why we'd put it on yourself.
My fate is sealed.
Your hand can be as full as you like, but if you can't play any of the cards, it doesn't matter. Unfortunately, I'm not making, like, I'm not really planting my foot in the ground here. I've still only got 2 minions on the field, and they're relatively weak minions, to be completely honest with you. Doesn't matter. I mean, I guess it's kind of annoying. Not really. Is that a... Oh, 1 mana. That's an Earth Shock that they were wondering if they wanted to use there. So I definitely don't want to Power Word Shield this guy, because he's dying very soon.
My fate is sealed. Are you ready for this?
Yeah, he's gonna be silenced. So Power Word Shielding him is actually really horrible. He's gonna be silenced so that my opponent doesn't have to kill all of my targets on the field. Because you obviously want to kill this last so that it doesn't have a random friendly minion to give +3 health to. If they have a 1 mana targetable right here, I'm 100% betting that it's going to be Earthshock. Especially because they only bothered targeting it at the Dark Cultist. Oh, looks like they want to hold on to it. Or maybe they try and Earthshock this guy. Yeah. And it was exactly Earthshock. That side of the hand, that card. So now my goal is just kill this. Pretty easy. Unless they roll a Taunt Totem, it's easy as hell. No Taunt Totem. They should have rolled that first, because then they would have gotten extra damage on this. Oh, they're trying to keep that one alive, are they? It's kind of disappointing. So I can silence the totem and then just attack there. It's kind of boring, but it's either silence that and attack there, or silence the Fireguard Destroyer. I have to silence something this turn. And silencing this just makes a 3-1 that I'm going to have to deal with later. And rather than play the Stormwind Champion when I have basically nothing on board... Oh, you know what? I played that in the horrible order. Oh, fuck me. I could have had 2 more health on the Archmage. I should have put that on the Fireguard Destroyer. That was dumb. I wasn't even thinking that it was a Shrinkmeister. I was just like, yeah, I'm going to play that 2-mana minion. That was really bad. Like, not super bad, obviously, because this is still going to live through most things, but it's still pretty bad. Yeah. Oh! Forked Lightning. Wow.
Locked and loaded.
I dream and the world.
And I'm going to trade down because I don't want my opponent to have anything on board to contest Ysera. So they've already used a Earthshock against a suboptimal target, so it's possible they have another Earthshock in hand, but I can't really play around that at the moment, unfortunately. Okay.
Behold the might
I
of
shall bring
Stormwind.
rest.
Well played. Oh man, why they have to shove an Elements will destroy you in the end there. So, I'd be really happy with this deck if we got to 7 wins, not only because 7 wins is relatively successful, it's probably over my average. My average is somewhere near 5 or 6. Is my average even near 5 or 6? My average is probably near 5 more than 6. Huh. I used to have stats on all that stuff, and I had it up to episode 100, but
The light shall bring victory.
now I don't. It's basically how I'm going to finish that sentence. Start off with Gilbin Stalker, give it Power Word Shield, and Shrink Mice my opponent. As long as my opponent plays a 3-2 on turn 1, it's the dopest hand of all time. If they play a Snow Chugger, I'll be pretty sad. Fuck, that's my play! You stole my play. We're not friends anymore. There's almost no way that they reveal that from stealth. So the fact that they coined out a 2-drop should mean they have another 2... Oh, finally. Fuck. Well, now it's not okay anymore. See, I was thinking I was going to heal this. Since I didn't heal it, now Shrinkmeister playing afterwards makes me seem dumb as fuck. I should have Shrinkmeistered that target and then attacked. Does Shrinkmeistering a target dummy that's being buffed by a different minion actually do anything? I don't think it would. Because you're giving an adjacent minion +1 attack. So I Shrinkmeister it down to 0 attack, and then it still gets the +1 attack from Direwolf Alpha, is the way that I understand that would work. Stormwind Knight for the board clear, or Sen'jin Shieldmaster for possible value. The problem is if my opponent has a Fireball, Sen'jin Shieldmaster is horrible.
For the king.
I think I just go for immediate board clear. And actually I'll attack here. I don't think that my opponent has a Flame Cannon or a Frostbolt in hand, considering they haven't played one. And last turn would have been a pretty good idea to play one.
Someday I'll be just like you.
I think they might have Blizzard in hand. If they killed the minion with less damage but more health and left a 3-2 on the field, they might have Blizzard in hand. It's possibly something I should consider. I'll just trade.
For the crusade!
They're still a turn away from Flame Strike, and I had the coin, so this doesn't matter. No, they had the coin, but they still played something on turn 1, rather. I knew it. I knew that a Gilban Stalker was played with the coin on turn 1. I figured, oh, it's probably me doing that. Interesting. I think just to prevent the Fire Blast, I'll actually silence this and then trade. Because it's either that or heal it. And healing it will drastically reduce the amount of things I can do this turn. Because I can just walk straight into Flame Strike if I want. Like doing this. That really good play.
I'll show them. I'll show them all.
It's even super likely that they still have Flame Strike in hand and just didn't want to play it then. Alright.
My fate is sealed.
That's pretty good. If my opponent can't remove my board, if they can only generate things that I can kill with what I have currently on board, I will be so happy, because that's a naked board for Ysera. Oh, you just played a silence as well. Baby. Oh, that's not good. Oh shit, I need to know what secret that is as well. I have to play this just in case it's Mirror Entity. It's not, so I'm pretty happy about that. Probably counterspell. Not counterspell. Duplicate. Alright, so it has to be one of the attack phase triggers. Flame Strike. Force Tank Max. This is my least valuable minion right now. Ice Barrier, wow.
I dream and the world
Job's done. Oh, shh.
Thank you.
Okay, so I buffed this guy so that... Interesting. so that I would at least have one target that was out of range of Flame Strike plus ping.
You call that a weapon?
I have lethal with Ysera Awakens.
I shall bring you rest.
Archmage, and then Awakens for 7 damage.
Well played.
3-1. I wanted to use Awakens for 7 damage at the end there, just because it's so cool to have just Ysera sitting there at the end of the match. Like, yeah, this was my match. What the fuck of it, son? Ooh.
Anduin versus Anduin.
Another priest.
The light shall bring victory. The
Fuck
light
you,
shall
unstable
bring-
ghoul. We're not friends anymore. Actually, seriously, fuck you. It's not a good enough early opening hand. I don't have any kind of, like, ability to flip stuff on my opponent. Having the coin is making this loot hoarder a lot better, because it means that if the loot hoarder doesn't kill something, I can follow up with coin Stormwind Champion to follow... Sorry, Stormwind Knight to possibly finish off the loot hoarder's work. Excuse me?
I wonder.
Are they just inspecting their cards, or are they choosing something to play? Oh, suddenly I'm not so proud. Obviously, I don't want to play a Loot Hoarder right now. Like, I don't coin it out before the Shrinkmeister. And the reason is, the Loot Hoarder can only really kill a 3-2. 3-2 or 2-3 are the most common early drops, right? It can only really kill a 3-2. But if I take the damage away from a 3-2... Hang on.
Let us see if this works.
How likely is it that this gets fucking Velen's Chosen next turn? I think it's super likely. If it gets Velen's Chosen, then Power Word shielding this is not even valuable. Oh, Thought Steal, come on! He should have fucking put the Power Word shield on. Ah, I fucked up. Okay. Anyway, yeah, if my opponent played a 3-2 and I Shrinkmeistered it and then attacked him with Loot Hoarder, it would still be a 1-2 and it would still kill the Loot Hoarder. That was my point. That's not good. Oh dear.
For the king!
Hey, give me that!
Just so my opponent can't heal it this turn and then attack back. That would have, like, this would be a 2-2. They would heal it and attack, and then I'd be pretty sad. Amazing. Perfect draw. Perfect draw. That could not have actually been better. Velen's is relatively good as well, but that's still the best. Holy Fire is very expensive removal. Don't get me wrong, it's good, but it's still super expensive. Obviously, I kill that so my opponent doesn't have a target on the field in order to use Velen's Chosen on if they ever wanted to. So since they use super expensive removal on a 4-4, I'm gonna guess they don't have better removal for a Wind Fury Harpy. Probably just Stampeding Kodo that. Yeah. Then just reduce your attacks so I can kill you twice. And then I'll actually give you the Power Word Shield as well, not only to draw a card, but to put you out of range of Holy Nova. You're gonna attack that, aren't you? That's 6 mana. 6 mana to defeat my 6 mana card, which has already killed a 6 mana card. I'm so glad that I got the Stampeding Kodo out of my hand, by the way, because I wouldn't be able to play it now. Playing it would basically be an automatic forfeit. I think I just play a lot of minions this turn, but I think I actually probably want to steer clear of walking into Mind Control Tech, because my opponent still has 3 cards in hand, and that's a lot of cards. That's like more than 1, and it's like a bit more than 2 as well. It's difficult to explain.
Behold the might of Stormwind!
Okay. I'm sorry to be you. Alright, I'm gonna actually walk into Mind Control Tech, and here's my reasoning behind it. I want my opponent to use that kind of stuff before I need to play Ysera, and in a few turns, I'll have no choice but to play Ysera.
Let us see if this works.
What? What? I have the best trades of all time, are you fucking mad? Hang on. There's gotta be a way that I can kill literally all of these creatures without losing any of mine. No, there isn't, because I've got 2 creatures with 4 health, and I can't kill them with the Dark Scale Healer, otherwise I lose. The Dark Scale Healer, that is. I can get close to killing everything, but I will have to use a Dark Scale Healer. I don't have lethal, I just checked, by the way. I'm 14 damage.
Quickly!
Okay.
I can't do that.
Get physical!
I was really eager to buff this out of Shadow Word Pain rate. Oh, they got the Shadow Boxer. Oh, that could have been so bad. That could have been fucking atrocious. Okay. I'll attack it with these 2 so that nothing goes down into Holy Nova range. I actually, you know what? I'll double hit this as well. The thing is, if I play Ysera and my opponent mind controls it, I lose the game. Like, instantly, that's it. I'm done. I have to be certain that my opponent doesn't have mind control, and the only way I can be certain is if they play these 2 cards. This one I'm not so scared about because it was just top decked, so they haven't been holding onto it all game. Whereas these 2 cards, they could have easily had in the opening hand and just gone, okay, this card costs 10, I can't play it yet. I need them to be so desperate that they'll play it on anything. Incidentally, that's also why I healed this rather than this. Because if I heal this, it's a 4-7, and then, fine, I'll take a 4-7, but now they get a 4-5 or a 3-5 with Taunt. Like, it's less good for them. And of course, Mind Control takes up your whole turn at 10 mana. You okay, buddy? Sammy Rocks, 24. Got, Whoa. I'm sorry this had to be the match that you saw, Dragmore. I still don't have lethal, but there's no reason in doing anything except just attacking base right now. Whee! I could have put them on 4 health. Whoa, baby.
Well, your opponent left.
Your opponent left. Add that up to 4-1. It doesn't matter if they left, I still won. Excellent. 3 more wins is all we need to get that golden total dominance quest done. That's 100 gold. I'll put that in the piggy bank. I don't know how much I've got left on the 2 and under minions quests. What's that called? The Meek something? I don't know how long I've got left on that, but I'd like to get that done as well.
Anduin versus Rexar.
Ooh.
Let the hunt begin.
Oh, baby.
Bring victory.
That's such a shit opening hand, but it looks so good, doesn't it? Non-shit cleric does nothing on the field unless my opponent plays web spinner. But I need a 2-drop. Otherwise, but the dark scale occultist is the best 3. Oh, this is so difficult. Please get a 2-drop. Oh, thank you. Oh, man. That was tense. It's the most tense video gaming experience I've ever had. Thanks for the 40 dust. Not a problem. They were clearly just watching for the watch and learn quest and must have gotten a shitty pack. I apologize, Dragmore. Really? Oh, they're pretty intent on face.
The damned stand ready.
They can kill one of the 2 no matter what I do, so coin, power word, shields probably isn't that great of a play. I guess the only thing I'd be scared of is Leok. Ooh, actually Huffer I'd also be scared of, because then they go here, here, and then Huffer runs in here, and then I have an empty board and they have a 1-1 and a 1-1. That's still not a great board, but it's not that bad either. They've got to be killing the 3-4 if they're going to do that, right? What? No? I mean, I guess they don't want to kill this because they don't want to give me the death rattle, but still.
My fate is sealed.
It was a 50-50 that I'd hit a 1-1, and hitting a 1-1 was amazing right then. I still want to keep the Holy Nova. Because I have another turn to play that. Since I used the coin that turn, it's possible they go, oh, they could have coined Holy Nova, and I wonder why they didn't. They probably don't have it in hand, and then flood the board with early minions. But since my opponent has been so historically aggressive towards me, hours from the top deck, I'm so sad. But since my opponent has been so aggressive towards me, I'm considering it fairly likely that they have a lot of early game minions. That was from the top deck. I'm the saddest man of all time. Fuck. Hell. It's possible I can't come back from that, which is hugely problematic for me. I need them to go face and only face forever. In fact, if they do, Holy Nova will be amazing as a result of having the Archmage. +1 spell damage, y'all. If you fucking deadly shot that shit, I will be the maddest man of all time. Freeze is fine. My opponent didn't have a deadly shot last turn. I'm actually just going to cycle these. If I put out an unstable ghoul, I give the opponent the chance to actually just stack up their health to the point I won't be able to kill them using the Armor Smith. I do need to start healing myself like every turn now, because it's getting to the point that kill commands will just kill me. I mean, I guess that's kind of the point. What?
Drink with me, friend.
Oh, they don't have enough mana to play it! Oh, I'm sorry.
Not quite what was planned.
Don't blink.
I still need, as much as I want to put a taunt up, I still need to be generating big minions so they can't freeze me constantly and just win the game that way. That seems like my opponent's biggest minion, that Frost Elemental, so that's probably just going to get the Shadow Word D right there. None of the cards in their hand are Deadly Shot. I can tell you that 100%. If I have to heal myself every turn, I'm never going to be able to play Ysera. God. I'm actually going to play that just in case my opponent has charging damage. I do have ways to activate the Nerubian Egg in my hand, but can't fucking use them. Ain't it great? I can talk without anything else. Oh, fuck yeah. That was from the web spinner as well. That would have been the best Nerubian Egg of all time. Luckily, that still doesn't put this down to the point that it can get killed by multi-shot. So multi-shot is actually a non-entity right now. Kill command to remove the field. Interesting. Interesting.
Quickly. I wonder.
They're getting a little skittish about their ability to kill my face. Which is 100% fair, because they can't kill my face. I have a very, very solid face going on. Okay. As soon as I put Ysera down, I will win this game. It's just... I need to heal every turn. I don't want to get any of this bullshit going on where this is a fucking charge card, this is a fucking charge card, this is a fucking charge card. They run to the face for 5,000 What? Oh my god. That was the worst it could have been. Are you kidding me? I am sorry about that one, friend.
Don't blink.
I do.
Ysera's dreaming. Oh, Emerald Drake, a 7/6 dragon for 4 mana. The world is trembling, my friends. That makes sense to hold for later. Shit me, I might not win this. What is the actual possibility that the minion that comes out of that is a Doomsayer? Well, it's like 1.7. 1.7% chance to outright lose the game. No! No, I have a 0% chance to outright lose the game if I play this correctly.
I shall bring you rest.
Because I can Kodo it.
The mighty Millhouse Manastorm.
Excuse me? I wasn't even thinking about the fact that I can actually kill a Doomsayer. But still, Millhouse Manastorm is actually the best stats-wise 2-mana card that you can get. Second is Succubus, obviously, with 4/3. So if anything is returned to my hand, I want it to be this. Dankeschön. So I can get to a total of 16? Yes. No, 14 damage. I can get to a total of 14 damage. So I can't win right now.
I shall bring you rest.
I still don't want my opponent to win if they top deck Mind Control tech. So I'm gonna leave it at that. King Crush doesn't even kill me right now. King Crush is a 9 mana 8/8 for charge. So my opponent would have 11 damage off the top of that. They would need an extra mana to actually be able to Steady Shot me. Oh, Quick Shot into Quick Shot.
I'll show them all.
That would be 4, 4, 3. No, it would be 11 as well, because Quick Shot, of course, would cost 2 each time. So Steady Shot still wouldn't have been available. So as your Drake, Quick Shot wouldn't have done it.
Well played.
And I'll just kill him like that. They were a relatively honorable foe. And so I'll allow them a quick death. 5-1. That first game is definitely looking like it was, what's the word I want to use? An aberration? It looks like it was, I keep thinking asymptomatic. No, atypical. That's the word that I'm looking for. Is atypical of a performance of this deck. I think I've actually drafted really well this time. And that was a lot of hard decisions that I had to make. Like, ooh, I really want this Spider Tank, but I've got to take this Gilban Stalker. That kind of stuff.
Anduin versus
I think I've been a mature adult today, and I'm very proud of myself.
The light shall bring victory.
Northshire Cleric goes so far back in the deck. Having to play a Shrinkmeister as a solid 3/2 for 2 mana isn't bad, but it still makes me sad on the inside. Look, as long as my opponent doesn't coin a shielded minibot this turn, I'm happy. Hey, it's not a shielded minibot. I was getting ready to swear. Oh man, I was gonna say so many swear words. Oh, it was gonna be real salty mouthed about it. But I don't even need to this time. The interesting thing is if this is their only target on the field, so if they do want to Kings this, they have to realize that the Death Rattle and the Kings both die to the same silence. So I would be able to silence it, Spider Tank, and Power Word Shield my Spider Tank. Although the one that they would be scared of is... Ooh, that's actually really good, because now it doesn't live. Really good play. So I can have a 3-6 or I can have a 3-5. A 3-6 demands 2 sacrifices from these guys and then a True Silver Champion, which would leave enough to kill the 3-5, actually. But it also gets the draw. I think I need the draw. Because I have nowhere to go after this. It's pretty good. True Silver Champion plus 2 of the 1/1s. Obviously the spiders rather than this. You want to keep the recruits on the field as long as you can. Excuse me, what? Okay, that's a funny joke. I was actually momentarily considering the Oasis Snapjaw and whether putting it down first. I mean, wait, like I don't need a taunt right now. An Oasis Snapjaw would be pretty good because then my opponent, like all of my opponent's cards die to an Oasis Snapjaw right now. So it doesn't matter if I have 1 less damage on my creature. But the taunt might be important if my opponent had a True Silver Champion. So that's my consideration. Also, Kodo would fuck me up. They're doing the triple sack, right? Do you believe in miracles? When they came along, you sexy thing, yeah. All I really need to do when the Temple Enforcer is coming out is buff a minion, and that's 6/9 worth of stats for 6 mana. Oh, baby. Cool me down, I'm too hot. Too hot, hot damn. Almost destroyed a USB. Good work, Ryan. Dust Devil, Dust Devil.
Reporting for duty.
Then this gets buffed. Yeah. I could Holy Nova for 2 cards. Plus it puts them out of consecration range. It's actually not that bad. It's actually really good.
Right away.
Oh, Darkscale Healer as well! Whee! The Krakit's Grommet. This also goes out to True Silver Champion range because I healed it. Oh, man! That's actually pretty good. Damn it. So I now need to heal the shit out of this.
Right away.
So now I can just overwhelm my opponent with cards. I've strategically left myself with 9 cards in hand, so I don't have to worry if I draw. Also, this only triggers when a minion is healed, so my opponent attacking with a True Silver Champion is not going to trigger the Northshire Cleric.
You love my new recipe.
7 damage to face. I mean 5 damage to face, obviously, because they got the 2 health heal, but that's still not that fun. So I got 5 damage on board. I've got 6 seemingly 5 damage in hand. So, no, I can't outright burst them.
Right away.
If that's mind control tech, I'm just gonna have to deal with it. I think I still just need to put more minions down on the field. But I also don't want to make myself super vulnerable to consecration, so instead I'll put 2 minions that are really good for me in terms of consecration on the field. Well played. 6 and 1. So, 1 more victory and I'll get my dominance quest and I'll be really happy. This is also, I think, the best performance I've had in a very long time, except for that one time where I was slightly drunk. And I was playing, I think that was episode 207 or 208, Skulker. It's been brought to my attention recently by a sub-program that I seem to play better in worse situations. At least the evidence that they brought up was when I draft bad decks, I seem to do well. So maybe I should just drink more and draft worse decks, and then that'll work for me. Who knows? Gilban Keep. Gilban is so important against the Paladin because it's 2-3, which means if my opponent plays a, say, shielded minibot, the 2-3 breaks the shield and then kills it, rather than a 3-2, which breaks the shield and dies, and then my opponent still has a 2-2. Shielded minibot is so powerful. It's really powerful. It's worth noting I picked the Unstable Ghoul long before I picked the Loot Hoarder. So the anti-synergistic value there, it's my fault that I drafted it, but Unstable Ghoul wasn't even in a good pick, though. So I don't think it was wrong. I just might not think it's correct. So I 100% have to coin out something. Because I've got a 2, a 2, a 2, a 3, and a 5. And waiting's for noobs. Loot Hoarder is pretty weak next turn. And the reason Loot Hoarder would be weak is if my opponent uses Muster for Battle, they just kill the Loot Hoarder with a weapon. And then I'm really sad. Look! Look, Ma! I learned from my mistakes! I didn't attack this time! Aren't I great? I had to play this, couldn't play the Loot Hoarder. That's just the reasoning. Couldn't play the Loot Hoarder, and therefore I played that. This will also give me enough damage to kill this. Both of these involved. Sets me up for a pretty fierce consecration. Possibly.
I smell blood.
Oh, you don't want this to die now.
Reporting for duty.
Now I want this to die.
The damned stand ready.
My opponent loses their Worgen Infiltrator and their hero power. I lose that, but I was going to lose it anyway. Alright. I'm relatively okay with that because my 4-drop isn't actually vulnerable to it. But now I really want to draw something that my 4-drop can that will actually activate this 4-drop. It's got 2 health at this point, sorry, 2 damage. At this point in the game, that's kind of negligible. So I really want Dark Iron Dwarf, or preferably, I'd really like Velen's Chosen. Give it that constant buff. Oh, baby.
Pass me that arc light spanner.
That's getting Kodo'd so hard, your head'll spin. And then Kodo doesn't even die to the Truce of a Champion. Oh, baby. Dark Cultist is also immune to the Truce of a Champion. It's got enough health to die to the Truce of a Champion, but you don't want to kill it while the other stuff is still on field. Otherwise, I get the power for the buff. And this becomes a 3/7 for 3 mana. Distributed stats, but still. So we've got to break this arena because our opponent is taking 12,000 years in their turn, so... I've also got to invest a lot in cryogenics so that I'm actually still alive at the end of this match.
Hurry up! Portals
Okay.
online. Something needs tinkering?
That's got to be health. Quoi?
Let us see if this works.
Mind if I roll a lead?
Consecration isn't amazing right now. It does leave me with something on board. This is so important that it went like that. So important. Oh, because now I actually have a Shadow or Death target. And I've got a play that I can make on the same turn. It's really important to me that that went down that way.
The damned stand ready.
That's what I'm talking about. When I picked Priest at the very, very start, I said priests are capable of the biggest swings. That is a huge swing. My opponent just played a 7 mana card. Well, it's an 8 mana card, but they only played it for 7. They played a 7 mana card. I defeated it entirely with a 3 mana card and developed something super powerful on the same turn, which is arguably undercosted for its stats, right? So there is no greater wrecked than that. That is so wrecked. Well, like, it's a relatively common wrecked. There are greater wrecks, but it's a pretty good wrecked.
Shields up. Red alert. I am ready.
Oh, they have a mech deck. Oh, another villain's chosen. I might want to try and ignore that. I can't bounce this to hand in any way.
I must consider. My fate is sealed.
The reasoning for what I've just done there is I want to make sure that at least one of my minions survives a consecration. So if he attacked here and then consecrated, I want at least one of my minions to be alive after that. Otherwise, this wouldn't be buffing anything. Ooh, time rewind that back to your hand. I'm so scared. Watch me shiver.
Reporting for duty.
Oh, you're so cruel, video game.
My fate is sealed.
So now the only one of these that my opponent can kill with that is the Dark Cultist, who my opponent doesn't want to kill. I am looking at the Wind Fury Harpy and the Velen's Chosen, and I'm thinking, like, how can I get them out there? Possibly get them doing the damage, but I think the longer I take, the slower I draw out this game, the more I'm just gonna win. I think trying to force a win really early gives my opponent more chances to actually destroy me than just attacking.
To Northrend! Reporting for duty.
Cool, 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 cool.
My fate is sealed.
Pop that. 6-9, yeah. Now, I only want to play the Nerubian Egg if I'm scared of Consecration at the time. And I definitely don't want to play the Nerubian Egg. Wait, did I just miss lethal? But hang on. No, I only sacked 4 damage to the face and they were on 7 at the end. Well played. So that's our 7 wins right there. Tying that up very nicely. Getting my total dominance. Wink. One more minion that costs 2 or less. So if I did play the Nerubian Egg on that last turn, I would have gotten both of my quests done, and then I could just retire the deck. Who needs a deck after you get both of your quests done? I mean, honestly, I'm just wasting my time at that point. If you can't tell, I am the most sarcastic man ever.
Anduin versus Uther. I will fight with honor.
Cool.
Light shall bring
Let's keep that
victory.
Shrinkmeister. You know what? I'm not even going to go for early game shenanigans. That's just a really solid curve. Oh, no, it's not. It's a paladin. Fuck, what am I thinking? Shielded Minibot Shreks me. Just don't coin out a 2 unless it's a 2-3. Like, this is a great curve as long as my opponent doesn't play a shielded fucking Minibot.
Mind if I roll need?
That's okay. Oh, that makes it so much better. So my opponent's not going to sack the trade in here unless they have a...
Death does not scare me.
I fucking need that to die, though.
The damned stand ready.
Fuck. I need this to die so that I can coin out the Kodo and kill this. So I'm trying to make it tempting for my opponent to go Shadow Boxer gets hit by both the Death Lord and the Loot Hoarder. If not, I'm going to need to try and heal the Shadow Boxer a lot just so that I can... go there and then there. Yeah, it's close enough. I mean, that's really, really, really good for them. But being able to play 2 minions this turn is really good for me. Unfortunately, a lot of my early game is still in my deck, so it could be, you know, a lot of different things that I don't really... Oh, damn.
Well played.
That's got to be difficult to come back from.
Thank you.
No, wait.
Silver Moon shall not
Sorry.
fire.
Be a nice person. That's what I'm going to try and do. Rise above. I say rise above. They did nothing wrong.
Let's see if this
For the Alliance
Ah, I knew it was going to be redemption.
shall not fall.
Actually, I want to do that. If they hit and consecrate, I just want to have a good board. Plus, they've already used the consecration in the early game, so either they have a lot of consecrations in their deck, or they just use the consecration and that's it. That's their only consecration. Oh, see, we're going to kill this anyway. This was definitely the correct play. So that's 3 cards that they've used, and they managed to kill the Stormwind Champion. But they'll also get to kill the Shrinkmeister.
I'll show them. I'll show them all.
Yeah, why don't you? Just show them all.
My fate is sealed.
Busy girl.
Tazdingo! Yes.
This is the only one where healing matters, because the difference between 4 and 5 to a paladin is actually pretty big. Truce of a Champion can't affect a 5 health creature, for example. Whereas this I kind of want to die, so I'll leave it as low health as I can. They have a lot of secrets in their deck. They do not have a lot of secrets in their deck. Flip the opinion immediately.
My fate is sealed.
So they're going to need to invest everything they can into getting that Wind Fury Harpy off the board. Because that's 8 damage a turn.
It's time for a little blood.
$12-6 makes 18. I haven't got...
Well played.
12-6 makes 18. I haven't got lethal. So I need to go face and then attack here. I want nothing to be vulnerable to Truce of a Champion, so I'll actually sack this instead. Which also gives me a space on the field where I can actually cast another card if I want to. And yeah, I do, actually. It's a pretty good idea. By another space on the field, I mean another space before Mind Control Tech can hit and take my minions. So I'm trying to strategically play around the Truce of a Champion here.
Reporting for duty.
Okay.
Victory.
I still have lethal on field. Well played. Well played. So that puts us at 8 and 1, and it will also fulfill the requirements of getting a Holy Nova Golden, and the Meek shall inherit. 1 hour and 34 minutes. You know what? I'm very glad that I'm recording this a week ahead of when it needs to go out. Otherwise, I would have some severe problems uploading this in time. Ah, yes. I'm getting real on top of my schedule. Oh, baby. Really on top of it. I'm almost at 4 videos a day now. If you consider the fact that I'm guest starring. I'm such a pompous ass. If you consider the fact that I'm also part of Ignitius's Rocket League series. Which I still need to find a way to feature on the channel. I'll probably make a channel update video. Or, which you'll have probably already seen by this point. So all of this... You know what? This might as well be an inner monologue. It doesn't really concern you. But, do I keep holding over? No. No, I just need solid minions. If I get overwhelmed by early drops, like, that happens. I mean, I guess that's just what happens to me. Okay. No double 2, so I keep the coin. If my opponent plays something, like, super annoying. I was considering coining something out, but... no need to at this point. What makes me super sad? Mortal Coil plus a 2-drop makes me real sad. That also makes me relatively sad. It's true. So now they need to spend, like, removal. Fucking serious removal on this. Oh, they can't. Oh, it's beautiful. I might have just won the game in that few turns. It really depends. If something stupidly powerful comes out of that... Did I just get fucking wrecked by Demon Wrath? I've never seen that card played before. And I just got so wrecked by it. If my opponent summons a powerful demon with this, I'm gonna be the saddest dude. Hopefully, they don't have a demon in hand, so they're digging real hard for it. Oh no. No, they're moving the shitty demons out of their hands so that they only summon the good one with the Void Caller. No! I'm so wrecked. It's the worst thing that's ever happened. I don't know if I've ever been told this hard.
Ready for this?
I thought I was so far ahead. Void Caller cheating out a 6/6 after a Demon Wrath to clear my board in a perfect position. I need Holy Nova top deck. God, they have such a good demon deck as well. This generates demons, they had the other demons. So many demons. Imp Gang Boss is so powerful, which is why I was really, really threatened. I need the 50-50 to hit the Imp Master. How could this happen to me? I'm so sad. Never been this sad in my life. The only way back in this is getting a Holy Nova and then just having it perfectly hit. So happy that it only hit 2. Look, Holy Nova would clear the whole board right now. The whole damn board. It's the best card of all time. I need it. You know what? I should have fucking held it. I lose now. There's literally nothing that I can do. Yeah.
Well played. You have bested.
I was even talking about, what if I held on to this card? That would be great. But the thing is, if they didn't have that Demon Wrath plus Imp Gang Boss and all of the things leading up to it, right? If they didn't have like the perfect demon deck, I wouldn't have been in a position to need it. I still feel like mulliganing that Holy Nova was the correct decision. That's really weird. But I am almost certain that throwing it back was still the correct decision. In hindsight's obviously 2020. Like, I think about it now and I'm like, fuck, I wish I had that Holy Nova, right? But in the majority of cases, having that strong of an early game, having a 2-drop that goes uncontested, Velen's chosen, and then being able to protect it, in the majority of cases, that just wins you the game, right? And Holy Nova coming from behind is usually where you lose. But yeah, we ended up in a perfect position for Holy Nova and didn't have it. I still think mulliganing it was correct. You can't plan around Holy Nova being situationally useful in the same way that you can plan around, say, Truce of a Champion being situationally useful. Think of a Consecration in an early hand. You throw that the majority of the time, don't you? Why do you throw that the majority of the time? Because you just need a stronger curve yourself, and then you play a Consecration situationally as it comes up, because it doesn't do enough damage. Whereas Flame Strike, if it cost way less, you would keep it in opening hand. I'm gonna throw all of them back because I don't have an opening play. You would keep it in an opening hand, because then you can plan all around it, because it definitely has an impact on board, doing 4 damage rather than 2. Holy Nova shouldn't have been as useful as it was going to be in that situation. I'm really annoyed that I don't have a 2-drop, because I have a Velen's Chosen in the opening hand, and I feel...
I smell blood.
Greetings.
You know,
Hello.
I was really hoping that they just had to ping face. Alright. I'm gonna get Flame Cannoned or Frost Bolted and be the saddest dude. However, if they have to trade 2 minions into it, I'll be the happiest man. I don't have a Shadow Word Pain. That's real bad for me.
Tadingo! Yes.
Mind if I roll need?
That all makes sense, what my opponent's done there. But I think I can work it to my advantage. So I silence this and then run it in, and then just cast a minion? Is that the correct play? I think it might be that I silence this, and then buff the shit out of it. So, like, Velen's Chosen, heal it, attack. But then it's still frozen. No. Let's silence this. I Power Word Shield and heal it, and it goes up by a total of 4 hit points. Goes to a 3-5, and then it loses those, and then it gets traded into with that. That's actually not that bad, though. It also allows me to fully utilize my mana. And then I want to play the Gildan Stalker because I want something to actually be on the board to buff with the Temple Enforcer.
I can fix anything.
That one's the one that needs to be immediately removed. No polymorph! Don't polymorph me. Don't polymorph me.
Pass me that Arclight Spanner!
That's not a polymorph! Or it's the weirdest looking polymorph I've ever seen. Fine against Flame Strike. The worst thing my opponent can do right now is Fireball ping this in order to remove it, which seems like what they might have been setting up to do last turn.
The light protects me.
I'm making it very difficult for my opponent to remove my board here. Flame Strike plus attack won't even do it. Flame Strike, attack, and then Lucky Arcane Missiles might remove one of them. As he expected. Double Fireball! Fuck me dead. If they use double Fireball, there is 0% chance that they have a polymorph in hand. 0. Unless they top deck it. It's a water elemental. Oftentimes, I think you'll find the water elemental is not a polymorph. Okay. Are you ready? Above this, Ysera Awakens is now doing 6 damage to all characters. And then I get everything to fuck off.
I shall bring you breath.
Well played. Oh yeah. That felt good. Basically, flame striking a mage. Nothing like it. I'm gonna make you pay for the sins of your predecessors, mage. It's worth noting, that silence came in handy a lot. Okay, twice. It's been handy twice, but still, been really handy when it was. I still think silence was the correct decision as well.
Versus Gul'dan.
Your soul shall be mine.
The light shall bring victory.
As good as Unstable Ghoul can be against a warlock, I'd prefer not to play in the world where it is. If my opponent plays a Flame Imp this turn, I've got some bad news bears for them. This Fringe is getting mighty in the way. No, it's a coin.
For a little while, I pack a big punch.
It's okay. A Loot Hoarder kills it.
Mind if I roll knee?
Against a 3-2, I would have played Gilban Stalker, and here's why. Because then the following up turn, I could play a Loot Hoarder plus a Power Word Shield, have the Gilban Stalker survive killing a Micro Machine, whereas now, can't do that shit. You know what? Let's get some value.
Hey, give me that.
I don't have enough mana.
They're gonna get a lot of damage in the early game. But if they can't clear this, I'm gonna get so much value out of a Loot Hoarder. Getting all that loot. Rolling need on everything. Fuck all y'all. They use their coin on turn 1. They haven't got to play. Hallelujah. 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 I'm the happiest man. Dear Lord in heaven, that was fun. Okay, so the only board clear they can do right now is attack here and then Hellfire. That's not good. That's not good enough. That's not good enough. That eats this, that's the problem. So I do need to power it up. Oh, that's so... That doesn't actually affect anything. Hang on. Fuck. It's not as good as it was. It just gives 2 health to this. Still okay, but it's not as good as I thought it was going to be. Fuck, I probably should have kept that for the Stampeding Kodo, eh? My opponent has spent officially 7,000 cards trying to kill one of mine. I'm very proud of that.
For the king! For
Whee!
honor!
Let's get physical.
I wonder.
Okay, they got their 4. Oh my god, they got their 4 so they could Mortal Coil as well. That's kind of gross. If I get the Holy Nova, I'm using it.
Let's get physical.
Keep your head down. Listen to me. If they play something that's 4 health, and they use all of their minions currently to clear the board, then I can Shrink Meister, the minion that they play, and then Stampeding Kodo it.
So many possibilities.
Don't tell them. It's our secret. Damn it, they're going face! It's the worst. Okay, so I've got a 50-50 to kill the Imp Gang boss right now, basically.
My fate is sealed.
Kill it. No! I hate you so much. I'm silencing it. And I'm gonna heal my face just in case my opponent has a stupid amount of face damage in their hand. So sad. Because the Imp Gang boss is so powerful. If you get just 2 1/1s out of that, that's 3 mana for 4/6 worth of stats. Distributed as well, which can be more powerful. That's a Hellfire. If I've ever seen one. No? Very weird looking not Hellfire right there. I can get this more powerful, but it won't be able to do anything. It still won't be able to survive to that. Because its max health will be 6.
My fate is sealed.
Both of the minions on the board pose a threat to my opponent's Dread Corsair. Did I just call that a Dread Corsair? Dread Infernal. It's getting to the late game, so my opponent's going to begin being able to basically tap themselves into Oblivion and just overrun me with the amount of cards they have. The only way I can catch up on that is by getting Northshire value. And the only way I'm going to get Northshire value is if I manage to kill this. Power Overwhelming? Oh, that's going to be for the removal. Zombie Charge. Okay. Oh, Shadow Flame! Fuck! No, they got it from the top down.
Ready for
Is
this?
someone injured?
I'm the saddest man that ever was. At the end of each of your turns, destroy that minion if it's your only one. So, oh my god. I'm fucked.
Don't blink.
I've been bodied so hard. It's over. I need to play the Dark Cultist. I need to have the ability to kill this. And I don't have death. Yeah. Yeah, I lose. They've got, like, Soulfire or something in hand. Really? Okay, that has to be sacked first.
My fate is sealed.
Then this. Then I need to power that up to take that out. And then I lose unless I heal myself. Yeah, we lose.
Well played.
Fucking Warlocks, man. Oh, they had a Dark Bomb in hand. 9 and 3, I'm pretty proud of that. I managed to get the 2 quests that were available to be done. It's significantly higher than my average win. So I'm really damn proud of that, to be completely honest with you. A recent opponent would like to be your friend. Oh hey, it was literally just the person we were playing against. Cool. Hang on. Do I have BattleNet turned off? No, wait, I don't. Okay. Well played. And that's enough gold to get back into the arena. That's all I wanted. That's all I've ever wanted. That's what I initially began the series as. It was, can I get enough gold in each runs, including using the quests, to get back into arena? It turns out, yes, the majority of the time I can. Okay. What are we going to call that? What are we going to call that? There's probably a few things that we could call it, but what's going to be the most apt? There was a lot of choosing in that deck. There was a lot of health buffing in that deck. In fact, there was a very large amount of health buffing. Was it two Dark Cultists? Though I just wanted to add someone to watch games for quests. Cool. I'm off now, but maybe later. Okay. I don't know. I really, really don't know. It's got to be something like health buff, right? Health potion. I'm gonna call it Bolster, right? Just because it increases the health of them, it like bolsters their defenses, and their defense is their health stat. That's it, Bolster. It doesn't need to be more difficult than that. My name has been Rhapsody. The name of the game has been Hearthstone Arena. The name of the deck has been Bolster. We played a priest. We drafted very, 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 very decisively. We managed to perform pretty damn well, except for one match where we straight up threw on turn 2. Hopefully you've been enjoying yourself. If you have, please click like. It doesn't get my content out to new people. There's also a playlist in the description down below with all my content on Hearthstone Arena, Ranked, Adventures, and Tavern Brawl, past, present, and future. And hopefully, we'll see you next time.